You want to say hi, Dee? Is this thing on? What's good, everybody? My name is Alex, and welcome to Higa's Playbook, a show that talks about sports, dating, and all things life as a Seattle girl living in the Bay. Today, we're going to talk about Week 10, the Seahawks versus the Commanders. Oof. That game was crazy, and I don't know why, but it felt like the longest game of my life. I kept looking up at the score and the time, and I was like, it's still the second quarter. But anyways, the Seahawks gave everybody heart attacks, high blood pressures throughout the entire game. We pulled off a win 29-26 against the Commanders. So we are second place in the NFC West to the Niners, of course. But like I said, we love to make it a nail biter at the very end. Myers came in clutch with, I don't even know how many field goals he had. I think he had at least 3, maybe 4. He might have had 4. We had a couple touchdowns as well, but the Seahawks gave up a really quick touchdown at the very beginning, and then at the end, it seemed like they did too. So we'll get into that a little bit in a little bit. Let's just talk about numbers. In comparison to last week, these numbers look like a completely different team. We had 489 total yards, 27 first downs. I believe last week we had like 6. We had 8 penalties, which we can probably get that to a little bit lower number. We only allowed 1 sack, and the time of possession was a lot more even this game than it was last game. So we had the ball for about 30 minutes and 27 seconds. Let's go into some offense. Geno Smith, I feel like he looked like a completely different player this game. His confidence was up. You can tell he felt more comfortable in the pocket, and he was just connecting to a good amount of the players the entire game. He was 31 for 47, had 369 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I think this is the biggest one. He had 0 interceptions. I know a lot of fans, KJ and G talked about this. I mean, a lot of us were frustrated. We were frustrated. We didn't see any numbers. We just didn't see anything out of Geno. And he didn't look like the same person. You can kind of tell he was a little bit down on himself. He just wasn't himself. But I think KJ made a great point that if any coach was to help somebody come out of the slump or come out and really truly be themselves as they play and as they are, it's Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll continues to have so much faith in all of his players to help build up their confidence. And I think this was the game for Geno that is going to help him for the rest of the season. He was connecting with DK a lot. I feel like today's game, DK was a lot more clutch than he has been lately. He was making plays when we needed them, especially during that last drive of the game. He looked like a different player on the field as well. And I think that we just need to continue to make those plays. Lockett, always clutch. Lockett had 8 receptions for 92 yards and 1 touchdown. Geno was in an interview and he was saying that Lockett with his little feet, it's easy for him to get his toes down, which I mean, it can be a compliment, but Lockett is just clutch. He remains to be the constant that our team has and our team needs. And just the way he contributes on the field and the way that he just steps up as a leader is so big for our franchise. And KJ did say that Lockett will only be wearing a Seahawks jersey for his entire career. So don't quote me on that one, quote KJ. So Walker had a huge game too. He had 19 carries, 63 yards, 1 reception for 64 yards, and that was the touchdown run that he had. So that was amazing. Like I said, Geno was connecting with everybody on the team. Charbonnet had some huge runs, especially towards the end of the game. JSN always connecting and making those plays. You know, Bobo, Fan, all of our guys are contributing, which is helping this team become very successful, especially with this game. All right, let's go to our defense. So like I said at the beginning, our defense gave up a really quick touchdown at the very beginning. The very first drive of the game, they gave up a touchdown. It was very quick. And then they gave it up at the very end of the game, right? When they could have sealed the game off, they gave up a quick touchdown. And I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure it was a 3rd down too. So they gave up stressful. High blood pressure, my heart rate, I don't even know what it was. And they did give up a little bit too many points, I think, throughout the game. We need to learn to play all 4 quarters. We need to learn to play all 4 downs or 3 downs. We just need to learn to finish the game off. All right. With that being said, our defense did play pretty well throughout the entire game. Like I said before, We have a lot of pressure on the ball. Sometimes the pressure is a little bit too late. We've had a lot of missed tackles throughout the game as well. But let's talk about Mafe. Mafe just beat a franchise record. He has now had 1 sack in the past 7 games in a row. So Mafe is out there killing it with all the sacks. Our boy Leonard Williams, 2nd game with the Seahawks, 1st game at Lumen Field. I think he said he had a really hard time hearing the play calls from Bobby, but he enjoyed the environment. He also had a sack, so congratulations, Leonard. Overall, the game was great. The game was fun. Do we want the Seahawks to kind of win with a little bit of a bigger margin and not so much with the last 45 seconds left in the game, 3 seconds left in the game? Yes. That's what I love about sports though. It gets exciting. It goes up and down, up and down. It's just an adventure as you watch. It's like a story, right? You got your ups, you got your downs, and then you're going to finish it. But it was great. It was a great game to watch. It was great. It was so good. Next game we have against the Rams in LA. Now, the first game of the regular season, we played the Rams and we lost 30-13. Oof. So this makes me a little bit nervous, but I have confidence in the Seahawks because we have gotten better every single game. I think we've learned a lot. I think we get in the locker room, they're watching their film, they're figuring out what they need to do differently in the next game, which I think has made a huge difference. And I think this last game showed all the hard work that they've been working on and figuring it out. So we're starting to piece little things together in every single game. So this week, our defense needs to play all 4 quarters. We need to play all 4 downs. We need to finish these tackles, and we just need to go out there hitting hard like we normally do, but we need to make those tackles, please. Gino needs to continue connecting with every single one of our receivers, every single one of our running backs. Just find that connection. Keep it going. Gino, I think you found your groove, and let's just keep grooving. Let's just keep grooving. I'll actually be in LA for the game, so if you're out there, come say hi if you see me. If you want to get part of my mini mic series and ask to be on my TikTok and my Instagram, I'll be out there. Week 10's Best Dressed Award. I was looking through the Instagram of the Seahawks, and the one outfit that stood out to me wasn't necessarily my favorite, but it stood out to me. And G. Scott, I quote G in this. He said, he looked cleaner than a hospital sheet. Now, personally, I don't know if hospital sheets are very clean. I honestly just feel like a hospital is kind of dirty. But I get it. He looked good. I get where you were going with that one. But I'm gonna give Week 10's best dress to Tyler Lockett. It was the clean white jacket with the black pants, and he's just out there looking like a James Bond villain. He just walked into Lumen Field and he just meant business. He looked clean, which I kind of liked back in the day when, athletes, or even in high school. Remember if you had an away game, you would dress up. If you had a home game, you kind of just wear your home jersey or whatever. But, it's like when you're dressing up, you're looking good, you're looking clean. Let's go. Yeah, you looked a little swaggy there, Tyler. All right, so Lockett, Best Dressed Award. All right, there were some crazy games this last weekend in Week 10. The Monday night game, wild. Broncos beat the Bills. I don't know what's going on with Josh Allen. I don't know what's going on with the Bills, but something's a little off, and they need to figure that out. The Texans beat the Bengals. The Niners whooped the Jags. The Browns beat the Ravens. And then the Lions beat the Chargers. And that game was back and forth the entire time as well. This is when things are going to get a little crazy. This week is week 11. We have the Rams. And then Thanksgiving, we're playing the Niners. And then we have the Cowboys. And then we have the Niners again. It's going to be a crazy next few weeks, but I am excited. I think Dee Dee is super excited too. She's loving going to Danny Coyle's in San Francisco. Again, shout out to Danny Coyle's. There was a ton of Seahawks fans at the bar this time. I won't be there for the next couple weeks, but we will be back there in a few weeks, all right? So if you're in San Francisco, come join us. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, I have a lot of faith in us again. I think the morale of the team is a lot higher. I think we just need to go out there and play all 4 quarters, like I always say. 4 quarters, 4 downs, and just keep it going. Dee Dee, do you have anything you want to say? No. I think we covered it all. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, follow me on all my socials, and we'll see you next week. Mwah. Love ya. Bye.